morning everybody! Today is a really exciting day for me because, as some of you may know, those of you who follow me on social media, my mum has arrived in Japan last night and I am super happy to spend the next 10 days with her, exploring Japan and showing her everything it has to offer. This is actually her second time in Japan. She was here during last autumn and she absolutely loved it. She loved the food. She was like, Mariana, why does everything taste so good here? Like, everything tastes amazing. She loved the scenery, the nature, so I am so happy to be showing her Japan during like the sakura blossom period. We're gonna go to where are we going? We're going to Kyoto. We're going to Yoshino to see like the beautiful cherry blossom trees. So I'm hoping that she'll have a very good time. To be honest, the hardest thing for me about living abroad and living in Japan is definitely being away from my family. I miss my family so much. I'm like a sim with the family orientated trait. My family means a lot to me and I can cope with any other difficulty life throws at me here, aside from the fact that I miss my family. So to have her here is just awesome. So while I am getting ready now, she's definitely not ready yet. She's staying in a hotel close to mine, but she's got jet lag, so she's doing everything a little bit slowly. But while I am getting ready, I thought I would answer some of your questions. I get a lot of questions in my Instagram inbox, but I'm gonna try and address some of the most frequently asked ones now, just to like get them out of the way. So if you're watching this, I hope I've answered your question, and I'm really sorry for not responding to them quickly enough. So the first question I get is, why did you move to Japan? I actually have a whole video on why I moved to Japan. It was a difficult time in my life and I needed a change, and I love Japan. I love Japanese scenery. I love Japanese culture, Japanese geography. I really loved Japan. I did a lot of research into Japan and I felt like it was something I wanted to experience firsthand myself in person. The next question that I get all the time, is how tall are you? I am tall. I am 5'9.5". Like, I'm almost 5'10", so I am very tall by Japanese standards, I guess, for a girl. I think I mentioned in one of my last videos that like my head like almost always hits those stupid like handrails in trains. It does. I can't help it, but I like being tall. I don't mind it at all. Yeah, so I am 5'9.5", so pretty tall. The next two questions are kind of like joined together, which is, are you an English teacher and what do you do for work? Okay, so I am not an English teacher. I taught English briefly when I arrived in Japan while I was just getting myself together, but I am not an English teacher. I actually do many different things for work, but I do work for a foreign company here in Tokyo, and that's pretty regular work and it just keeps me going, which is good. The next thing is, I think something some of you already know, those of you who follow me on social media, I am with a modeling agency in Japan. I was with another modeling agency while I was in the UK, but they don't cover Japan, so I joined another one when I arrived here. So I work as a model in Japan, and I also go to a lot of acting auditions here because I did a lot of acting when I lived in the UK. And I think I mentioned in one of my previous videos as well that I am a Yolo Japan ambassador, and Yolo Japan is basically an online service for foreigners looking for work in Japan. And I just think it's such a good service. It helped me so much when I arrived in Japan, because when you first arrive in Japan, you don't know anything. You start from zero, you start from scratch. And to have something like that for you there that offers you one-time work just to help you kind of keep going on the financial side, such as survey jobs, for example. Like, these are the survey jobs that are currently available. These survey jobs are like a one-time thing. They're super quick and they can help you earn some pocket money on the side. And Yolo Japan also have a thing called Yolo Influencer, but you don't have to be a huge like social media celebrity for that or anything. And Yolo Influencer is such an amazing concept because all you have to do is go to this experience that you would have paid for to go to in the first place. You get to experience the experience, and then you get paid for the feedback that you provide and your post on social media. And the experiences are so cool. For example, one of the jobs that is currently available, I think, is strawberry picking. So in Japan, strawberries are a big deal. Strawberries are very tasty here, and a lot of people go strawberry picking during the early to late springtime. And I just think it is so cool because you do get to experience a lot of Japan for free. So if this sounds like an experience that you might be interested in, I strongly recommend checking out Yolo Japan. Yolo Japan is available in 5 different languages, and I do have a link to them in my description box below. Please feel free to use my code to let them know that you heard it here on my channel. So yeah, let's move on to the other questions. One of the questions I get asked really frequently is, do you like anime? And yes, I 100% like anime. I even have anime reviews on my channel. It's just something I haven't paid too much attention to on my channel recently because I've been very busy with work. I've been doing so much recently that I've had no time to talk to you guys about some of my favorite animes. But anime is something that I have always loved. I think majority of people that come to Japan at least know about anime. One of my favorite animes is Agretsuko. I love her. I recently got this in one of the shops in Shibuya 109. And look at her, she's so cute, she's so angry. She's wearing her spring yukata and there's flowers all around her and she's furious. She's got the rage. So I love this anime. I think I love it because I like karaoke and I think she's cute and I love the characters. I think it's just really good social commentary. So I highly recommend you check out Agretsuko if you're looking for a new anime to watch that's a little bit different to the normal Sanrio stuff. Because it is made by Sanrio, but it's very different to the usual Hello Kitty or Little Twin Stars or other characters. I'll upload an anime review in the future, but not at this moment in time because I need to finish these questions. The next question I get often is, what is your ethnicity and are you American or where are you from in America? I am not American. I don't think I have an American accent. If I do, it's because I've lived in many different places in the world. Like I've lived in many places. Originally I am Russian Uzbek, like my actual ethnicity is half Russian, half Uzbek. I'm a Russian Uzbek. But my family moved around a lot, so I lived in Uzbekistan, that's where I'm from, that's where I was actually born, in Samarkand. I lived in Ukraine, I lived in South Africa, I lived in England obviously, now I'm living in Japan, and we just moved around a lot. I even lived in Dubai for a short period of time. This was due to my parents' work, so I moved around a lot, and on the one hand, it kind of makes me feel like I don't have a country to fully relate to. Like if I had to truly relate to a country, I'd be like Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is my home country, like that is the place where I was born, and Uzbekistan is beautiful. It is the most incredible, the most culturally amazing country I've ever been to. I don't think I'd be able to live there now just because of how my mind has been conditioned over the years of living in many different places, but it's beautiful. And if you get a chance to visit Samarkand, I highly recommend it. It's stunning. But yeah, I am Russian Uzbek. I am not American. I've only been to America once, and that was Florida Disney World. I have not been anywhere else in America. So I am definitely not American. And the last question I normally get is, do you want to stay in Japan forever? And that is such a loaded question. It's a very heavy question that I feel like I'm young enough to kind of give myself a little bit of time to figure out what I actually want to do with my life. Do I want to stay here? Could I stay here? I think I could stay here forever, definitely. Japan is a beautiful country. I am really enjoying learning the Japanese language. It feels very rewarding to be able to speak some Japanese to people, although I am learning it slowly, especially the reading and the writing. Oh my god, it's so difficult. Speaking is fine. Reading and writing is something completely different. Like reading okay, but writing, oh my goodness, it is hard. But I'm trying my best and I'm really enjoying it. But do I want to stay here forever? I don't know yet. It all depends on my work. It depends on where life takes me, and I want to keep my options open. So, but yeah, right now, for the next few months at least, I am definitely certain that I will be living in Japan. So I have no plans to leave anytime soon. So yeah, I think these are all the questions that I get very frequently. I hope I answered them for you. So I'm going to finish up my coffee and then we're going to go and explore Japan. Let's go. Just arrived at Odawara station and we're gonna head towards Odawara Castle. And there are a lot of tourists here. I think this is a very popular area. So the Odawara Castle area is very pretty. There's lots of cherry blossom trees and there's lots of food stalls and snacks around. So it's very nice. However, there is one thing, and there's like a cage in the middle of the area, and there are a lot of monkeys inside. And I don't know if this is the best habitat for monkeys. I definitely don't agree with this kind of thing. It looks really small for them, doesn't it? I think the main question I want to ask is why this does not add anything to the area. Like the sakura trees and the architecture adds a lot, but this adds nothing. There's a very, very angry dog behind me. Well, there's two dogs and they're fighting. But at the moment, we have just walked into the Hitoku Ninomiya shrine. I think that's what it's called. And it's very pretty. It's very, very peaceful. This whole area is kind of forested off. And if it wasn't for that dog being very angry, it would be very, very quiet. Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, and there's a stream. So nice. Well, I much prefer the shrine area to the Odawara castle area because there's koi fish that look very well looked after, they look very plump and beautiful and very expensive because koi fish are super, super expensive. And the area is very peaceful, it's very beautiful. There's a pigeon that keeps stalking me. So we're back in Yokohama Chinatown, and we are currently in my favorite Chinese restaurant, which is the Chojo Hanten. And the reason I like it so much is because it's got a lot of vegetarian and vegan options, like a lot, and they're all really, really good too. So yeah, I'm excited for food. So I got some sweet and sour vegan pork, which I'm really excited for.